Welcome, everybody,
Here we are.
to In the Buff.
I said it.
We did it.
It's
Here we
Chris.
That's the episode.
We got Scott, John, and Cody.
Scott, John, and Chris are all in the same room, but Cody, this is the future.
I'm calling in from abroad.
Yeah.
You better
What's
be
your
muted.
Wait. Oh, very good. Oh, very
Nice.
good.
Thanks.
Clever.
I high five you, but you're a few miles away.
Clever.
well.
You guys just hit the mic.
Hey, I gotta say, guys, just real fast.
Yeah.
I was letting my nephews use my Twitch stream so that I could watch them play Madison. And we've done a great job at not doxing ourselves because it only took one of them about 15 minutes to say their full name and where they live.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, here's the problem. Did their content live up to the high caliber that Double Buff represents?
We have a high caliber.
I got a follower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't bad.
Okay.
Well,
See, here's the thing about Gen Z, John, which your nephews are a part of.
Oh, I thought they were alpha.
Just
You're
like
about to get me
just
boomer
like-
angry, bro.
just like how they believe that private property is theft, private information is also theft, and so you should really be exposing as much personal information as you can to the widest audience possible.
Oh, all right, okay. All right, well, he's about 5'2", weighs 180 pounds soaking wet, and I mean absolutely drenched.
What a
What's his token?
it's weird. It's like Cody's living in my head. Dream come true.
This is crazy.
I have to live with myself in my head every day.
And the other one's a Munich.
A Munich?
No, that's not true.
The city?
That's false information.
Germany?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pronounced
If you try to dox somebody
know.
with false information, is it still doxing?
It's like,
Do you get credit for the attempt?
I think it's like a fake bomb threat.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
okay,
get credit for fake bomb threats?
It's still terrorism.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
So, comments, huh? We get them sometimes, and then we read
We
them.
do get them sometimes.
Yeah, I've got the comments pulled up here, if you wouldn't mind me reading
I
them.
would love
Sure,
if you would
this is
read
Cody's section of every video.
them. Sure.
So,
It's his podcast,
We've got-
after all.
Hold on, Cody,
Chris
wait,
here
I like
that
to
don't
read
think
along
we-
with you.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Okay, I'm
right.
ready.
He's ready.
All right. So, on our Unsolved Mysteries episode 17,
Yeah.
Chris has replied to a colon sausage comment that I believe we read. He asked, does anybody have any New Year's resolutions? I don't think we did read
I
that
don't remember it.
No.
because we absolutely would have said what our New Year's resolutions were if
Well,
we
let's
did read that.
let's wait, because I was actually gonna bring that up this episode.
God damn it, that's your corner.
Oh, fuck, I spoiled it.
Well, unfortunately, we can't wait to hear what Chris's resolution is because he commented in reply to Colon Sausages. Chris says, "This is the year of building. Be it the brand, or my professional career, or my nest egg, we building."
Okay.
Yeah.
Great job.
Going
We
in
got
2023
we got John's favorite
I back
nephew,
you
Carson.
fully, Chris.
Yeah, car.
This is your year to build. Okay?
A house?
A nest.
Oh, you're a bird.
An egg?
Ah!
I don't think birds sound like that.
Well, they sound like...
Yeah, at least you have claws.
Ah!
Look, not really peeking. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
Isn't
we're
that
doing
great for
great.
me to be in the podcast
All
every
right.
episode?
Sorry, continue.
We've got John's favorite nephew, Carson, commenting here on episode 18. Guys, call me Carson. I'm John's favorite nephew.
Carson's words, not
Carson's
mine.
words, yes.
Carson,
We got
it's
a
just
comment
business, my
from...
guy. I am not obligated to choose my favorite. But you're a smart kid. You can figure it out.
He cannot
It
confirm
sounds like he
nor
has.
deny.
It sounds like he has figured it out. He's nailed it down. The
I'm gonna
Legos
go ahead
do
and
the
like
talking.
that.
Okay. That was
That's the,
Double
that-
Buff liking
that's
that.
the
That was not John. That was Double Buff. Or
That's the
just maybe just
tacit
Cody.
endorsement of the channel that Carson is John's favorite nephew.
I agree, absolutely.
Moving on. to Kyle's comment on episode 18. As executive manager of Double Buff, watching John choke on his own spit upon realizing that was amazing. Also, good topic, Chris.
Oh.
No.
No. It was a fine topic.
Hold
It
on.
sure did get us talking for an hour and 15 minutes.
I blew that whole episode out of my mind.
Right.
Probably about 15 minutes later.
That was the badness of the topic, is that
As executive manager, what's he talking about? Who made that call?
Kyle did.
Kyle made that call.
Whoa.
And then as he said it, you coughed and choked on your own.
I think he's saying that
Vile.
John is executive manager.
No, I think he's saying that he is.
I don't
This
think
is
so.
like a takeover, hostile.
Oh.
We'll need to have him call in at some point during the podcast so that he can
I'm getting
clarify.
Gen Z mad now.
Gen Z. Uh-oh.
He was boomer mad. He's gone from boomer to Z mad.
Well, that leads right into our next comment by Monsi. Do you have that one up in front of you?
I do.
John?
I do.
We can do this little back and forth.
The year
You can be
3000?
old me. I'll be younger generation.
Okay. Let's see.
Gotta do your old man voice.
What voice would Monty have? We're just gonna go with my tried and true Arthur voice.
Arthur.
There was some days where we had old phones and items that we had. We had to cycle to college and rode around in buses.
Well, boomer, we are no longer humans. We can become robots and live longer as we want.
Wonderful. I want to
A
be a
little bit
robot.
of a generational clash.
Oh, yeah.
Chris's comment from 2 days ago says, I'm a dingus, but it asks me to translate it to English.
Could you?
It also says I'm a dingus.
Interesting.
Translated by Google.
Nice.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Google.
Sorry, Cody.
And what was that in reference to?
Sorry, I took your thunder.
There was a big old blank spot after our title sequence.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
So
I was a little
yeah, I saw
enraged
that
because of that mistake.
and immediately was like, I am a dingus.
Can you be a little enraged?
Well, he just hasn't fully grown up yet.
I suppose you would just use a different word.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're like
Miffed.
Miffed.
I was
Miffed?
miffed.
That sounds like a fun word to use.
Miff.
mm.
Is that all the comments we got?
Nope, we got some more. From hot off the presses, 7 hours ago,
Oh.
Jared commenting on Final Fantasy X
Jared
Jack
himself.
Sphere Locations Guide video. John, a mention of the Dark Aeons would have been nice. Trapped at the Dark Mega Sisters while under-leveled. It's a bit of a rookie mistake leaving out that kind of information.
Hey, my guy Jared. There's a couple of save spheres that you can use to pop your way up to the airship. That would be your easy way out. Just if you listen to this, maybe you don't, maybe you do. I'm just trying to help you
He
out.
seemed miffed enough to leave a comment saying that you're an asshole.
But that was in the Jack Sphere Locations video.
Not in our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the best way to rectify this sin would be? Is for you to reply to him with the information that you just gave
You
us.
should do that right now live on the podcast.
Oh.
Next comment.
I don't
And I
have
actually-
working thumbs.
John, I actually got upset at Jared on your behalf because I'm like, he absolutely did say that the Mega Sisters spawn on Mushroom Rock Road. I was going to go give him a timestamp and throw that down his face.
Well, it sounds like you already got this one covered. I'll let you take care of it.
But then I watched the video again, and you make reference to the Mega Sisters as Dark Aeons in the Aran Celestial Weapon Guide video, not the Jack Sphere Locations Guide video.
Ah, I see. Okay,
You're
wow.
such
You
a
really...
And so-
fucking
Hold
idiot.
on. Did you really just throw bait out on me?
Yeah.
Did you just fucking
That's
bait
all
and
I'm
hook
doing
my
is
ass?
baiting you.
I'm sorry. Are we fishing here, dog?
He's catching
You're
a
lucky.
big one.
You're lucky. You're in our heads right now and not in person.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
This is a family-friendly podcast. Can you not bait each other?
I think we're the ones who are lucky that Cody's in our heads.
Jerry Bean, last comment from 2 hours ago on Final Fantasy X Waka Celestial Weapon Guide World Champion video.
Mm-hmm.
I love Blitzball, and if you love Blitzball as well, Waka Celestial is a piece of cake.
Great.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
Was that Jared's alt account, maybe?
Maybe something happened between 7 hours ago and 5 hours ago.
I don't know. He loves
Like that
Blitzball.
one guy in the comment section
Yeah.
who's after the devil.
I'm after the devil, son.
Bro, that's probably the best comments I've seen in a while.
Dude.
Well,
I will beat anyone that I fight.
here we are. I don't know if you guys know this, but shapes have corners.
Shapes do have corners. I'm gonna drag us over to my corner for a second.
Oh.
Because every time it's supposed to be my corner, every one time so far, you're like, it's my corner. I'm taking this corner. And then you take it for about 10 minutes. And I'm not letting you do that today.
Shut
So
the
how about you
fuck
sit
up.
down, you buckle up, and before we get to my corner, I want to talk a little bit about our first travel into the Sea of Stars.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And how lost we were
fuck.
for 2 hours in this. Man, I ain't saying I smoke weed because I haven't smoked in a long time, but I would have loved to have been high listening to those that crazy shit.
Stuff like looking down at the Sea of Stars proper and then trying to find the horizon, but it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And then you look up and it's still there and you're like blinking and then the sky's there.
And it's all these like different explosions of color.
Mhm.
And then like the audio tracks that you had going on, Cody, were just like they were just mesmerizing almost. Like you would be explaining something, explaining whatever situation we're in, and then you would just hear this like dissonant whispering, and like you couldn't tell anything that it was saying. Yes, Chris?
It was the echoes of memories of people long forgotten that exist solely in the astral plane.
Oh, that's so far played, like my guy. Holy shit.
Like
One
Titus.
of the examples of how weird the astral sea is that stuck with me is you were Reese decided he wanted to drink some of the astral sea, so he scooped it up in his hands and drank it, and it was like
Refreshing.
it was refreshing, but it wasn't cold or anything. It was like
No, everything was like fine for us. If I remember, Cody, you said it was like it wasn't like freezing cold, but it was like a refreshing cold.
I believe specifically what I said was it was refreshing and colder than the water
yeah.
you were standing in.
Yeah. So that
I drank somebody's soul.
that made me remember
Shark viscera.
to we had these tall really round blue glass cups
Great job.
that we would use when I was growing up, and we'd put them in the dishwasher. And thing is, though, those are like the only cups to use, so we'd take them out for dinner and they'd be hot, and then we'd put whatever we wanted to drink in them, and so it was drinking something cold from a hot cup.
Oh, it
That-
had that opposite.
That
end.
strange feeling
I got
that
something
gives.
a little bit weird, different for you. So I know exactly what you're talking about, that sensation, but it was the opposite. Have you ever had one of those novelty cups that are so fucking stupid? They're like plastic and there's gel on the inside, so you can
And you can freeze
it.
them.
Yeah.
And then putting something room temperature inside that, and without waiting for it to cool down with the cup. It's so you don't have to use ice cubes.
Yeah.
And you take a sip of that. There's something really weird about drinking from a cold thing, room temperature thing.
Wow. I've never heard of these cups. I've never heard of ones
They
that have the gel
suck.
on the inside.
I think we froze them one time, and it literally cracked open because the ice expanded the gel inside.
Yep.
That seems like that's not supposed to happen.
No,
I think it was designed for that, actually. I think, yeah.
they have
I
to
see.
keep buying them.
The gel was
Let me
delicious.
interject here real quick and say that what we're talking about is our bi-weekly D&D session.
Oh,
Not that thing about the cups, but the thing about the astral plane.
we didn't actually travel to the astral sea in real life.
Yeah.
We didn't.
No, it was just a description. He's very evocative with his words.
Maybe I was high.
Mm.
Oh, and then the other thing, you said that we were in water and we could hold in our hands, but we wouldn't get wet.
Yeah, it would just fall through our fingers,
So
and we'd be dry immediately.
Cody, do you remember BattleBots in high school?
Yeah.
So I would go to these conventions with them because I did bare minimum in the actual club. And this one time, because we'd go to a expo for CMC machines and stuff, right?
What's CMC?
Computer, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No clue, bro.
I'm sure one of those C's is computer. It's like
it's the router machines that you
the
can
automatic
program.
lathes and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
So-
used. You program them to cut out a specific shape of metal.
Maybe it's
Gotcha.
computer machine cut.
Okay.
Computer machine cut.
Well,
Isn't it CMC?
Cutter.
I think it's CMC.
CNC.
Oh, and
Oh.
computer machine cut.
Machine, yeah.
Yes,
there you
of
go.
course. But one of the booths at one time was this liquid fire suppressant.
Halon?
Yeah. You would have it piped in the machine if it caught on fire and would put it out because it just eats oxygen or whatever. But it doesn't harm electronics because I guess it just evaporates quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went there and I stuck my phone in it and it was fine. And then I stuck my hand in and pulled it out and it was just dry. And it was the
Immediately.
weirdest feeling.
Cool.
And so I'm getting all these memories of all these textile experiences I've had that are weird to me flooding last night.
Right.
Some real mental barriers falling.
Do you mean tactile?
I didn't want to call him out on the podcast, but you said textile.
Textile is like for carpets.
Which is like
or-
cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Chris, I wouldn't have called you out.
He didn't
Not
know.
because I could have, but because I just didn't understand.
Well, that's great.
They fit the words and meanings fit the same spot in my brain.
I get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain yourself to me.
I would have had a lot more fun in the Astral Sea. I'm not attacking you, Cody. I understand. We talked about this at length. My character is quite impotent in the Astral Sea. And because of that, I'm kind of bummed. I'm having a good time. It's weird and trippy and really weird. We fought some astral sharks. And
Yeah.
they were one jumped out of the water, but then kept swimming through the air.
Yeah, we saw whales, space whales,
Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
that
about
was
flying
space
around
whale.
above the asteroids we were on.
They were made
Very good. You sound like Dory.
Wow, well done. And then we didn't know how to continue. We went from asteroid to asteroid until we couldn't go any further. We stopped at a pier,
It seemed like a pier.
and we kept seeing constellations in the water, but we didn't really explore that.
Reese, John's character, looked down and saw a constellation of
Tolgi.
who is some
gnome hero.
gnome idiot. I don't know.
For anybody wanting to know how to spell that, that's Toolagee.
I don't know. That's not correct. I don't believe that's not correct.
Tolagi.
And my character, Tybalt, who is just a man.
A Gaston.
And
You will.
he looked down, and his family is very intrinsically connected to giant lineage. And he looked down and saw a constellation in the Sea of Stars. He saw a constellation of Almerion, the Son of Storms, which is a mythical giant from the past.
Weren't they
Wow.
mirrored?
Yeah,
No.
but they were mirrored for some reason. It was like we were seeing the underside of our
See,
space.
That's why I was saying that maybe the astral sea is okay. So if you take the flat Earth model, right, and they have
We just have to walk to the edge.
the dome of stars. We're on top of the dome.
And the sand is the
And we're
barrier.
looking- and the sand's the barrier. And so that's why when looking down, you see the constellations that you would see if you looked up on the normal Earth, but they're reversed. because we're above them instead of below
Right.
them. Yeah.
You know what it's kind of like?
No.
It's kind of like, and forgive me for making such a dumb reference, it's kind of like when you're in the nether in Minecraft and you dig up to the bedrock ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you could get to the other side of the bedrock ceiling,
You just be on.
then you're in the astral plane.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say you'd just be in Minecraft.
Oh.
So we couldn't figure out how to continue from the pier.
Yeah.
We were stumped for a while. And as players, we kind of felt like we're like, there's the right answer here. Because on the material plane, on our normal world, like we always just realize like, oh, we're not handling this the correct way. We can tell when we're messing up. With this one, it was just like we're on a rock.
Floating.
There's no
in
other rock
not
nearby.
space.
And there's whales that are floating by, and there's little pockets of fish underneath this rock. And it's just like, what do we do? We're just on a rock in the middle of nowhere. And there wasn't really a right answer. And so after trying, I think, throwing everything but the kitchen sink,
I threw the kitchen.
Scott's just like, I'm just going to dive in. I'm just going to dive down 150 feet into this water and see what happens. And then everybody but Andreas, our friend Justin, his elf, dove in, making me have to waste another level 1 spell.
He could have just jumped with us.
He could have just jumped with us, and you could have just kept the armor on.
I did. Well, when I got down there, I felt foolish for taking the armor off because I thought, oh, we're going to be swimming.
And that makes sense.
But then when we were down there, I was like, wouldn't it be really stupid to sit in the water and put my armor on? I'm not going to be able to put my armor on with standing there.
True. But I guess that's neither here nor there now.
Anyway, when we do get down there, Reese levitates us down with his spell, and we land in the water, and like it goes up to all of our waists,
Regardless of our size.
So Reese is a gnome, and it's up to his waist. I'm a big human guy, and it's up to my waist, and that's weird.
Yeah.
What I really liked about that was I said that, and I think like Andy picked up on it first. Because I said it comes up to the water comes up to your waist, and then Andy's like, wait, whose waist?
Yeah, whose waist, yeah.
And I said, all of your waists.
He was fast on that. I wouldn't have caught it.
Oh yeah. No, that was pretty interesting. And so then
now on top of being impotent, I now have an armor class of 11. And
and your armor class previously was
17.
I see.
So it was a pretty big deal.
That's a pretty big jump.
But so a brief explanation. In the normal world, Tybalt's a strong boy, but in the astral sea, the way it works is your mental faculties determine your physical ones, your physical capabilities. So your intelligence and wisdom are used for your strength and dexterity. My intelligence as Tybalt is fat 11. My strength normally is an 18, which is super high. But because of the disparity now, I lost 7 points in my strength. So I'm a weak boy. And that means I can no longer do the things as well as Tybalt normally would do them.
Whereas in comparison, Reese,
who was a wizard.
He's a very intelligent boy. He has a maxed out intelligence stat. However, his strength is a 6. It's 1/3 of Tybalt's. Plus, he's just a small little gnome, so he sits at a stout 3-4.
But now
that's waist high in water.
He's gotten 14 more points in his strength.
Yeah.
You know, when we go back,
He's stronger now than Tybalt is in the normal world.
Yep.
when you go back, you'll feel like Popeye after eating spinach.
No, I'll feel relieved and not.
I feel like Popeye's relieved when he eats spinach.
What I'm imagining right now is like Tybalt feels like he's
Sick.
not even that, like he's swimming through soup or something.
No, he's relieved with olive oil.
Imagine feeling your weight when you're a third as strong as you used to be,
Yeah.
and walking around.
So, and that's exactly what we did, was walk around, because diving into the water didn't really lead us anywhere. It just gave us an opportunity to walk.
Yeah.
So we picked a direction to walk in based on some hints that we got at a previous location. And we just walked in that direction for what felt like hours, days. Like, it was an undescribed amount of time. Simply because we don't know, like, there is no way to track time in the game. Especially in this place. And so, like, we didn't feel any version of hunger, or we didn't feel thirsty. You know, like, even that was just almost on a standstill. We walked for potentially 20 hours, 24 hours. It's literally unable, like, there is no concept of time in this place.
Did we get tired?
No.
God.
And as we were going, we saw a little space guppy. And Scott hammer blasted it.
That's another thing. I have cool little. Because we're in the Astral Sea, magic is just stronger, and like, for example, Reese, who is a wizard, his spells are just flying out super fast. He can like shoot them really easily and do a lot more in his turn. What happens for Tybalt is he has some innate magical talents from his subclass in Fighter. He does like rune magic, and the rune magic is still has something. What is it called? The weave, which permeates through the Astral Sea. It uses the weave to work. So now I have like cool little wizard cantrips basically that I can use on my hammer. So I shot a guppy that jumped out of the water. It was scared as
You blasted that little fucker.
A school of guppies jumped out of the water because they were scared of something, and I shot it out of the air. I don't know why. To feel something, I guess.
Yeah.
To break the monotony.
But why were they jumping out of water?
They were scared. They were spooked.
What were they scared of?
What?
Guys, why are you asking me?
It was fins.
It
Because
was
that
a
was the next thing
small
we saw.
space sharknado.
Space Sharknado came
Yeah.
out of the Astral Sea.
And Cody played us because you guys only saw one, but I saw two. But what none of us saw was the third one above us, because they're also birds of prey.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Raptor sharks.
They fly?
They fly now.
And these fuckers were large.
Yeah.
So, like, we get into this fight, and immediately one's about to take out Chris's character, Miles Ohio, the Indiana Jones of the group. He was a
Indiana
dwarf.
of the group. Yes.
And if it would have got him, it would have swallowed him whole. But luckily it missed. However, the one that attacked Reese may be extremely strong now, but he's still just a snack.
Feels so tiny.
And one chomp, and he was gone. And right after that, one of the other sharks immediately swallowed Miles whole again. Not again. For the first time.
Yeah.
Succeeded this time.
Swallowed his
However-
whole.
And our party almost went down to 3 very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Thing
Because they're able to travel in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not.
They like went down. Does that mean in space that we'll see space sharks?
Did we not? Oh.
In our space, in normal space.
Oh, shoot. Maybe.
'Cause, I don't know. But also, the one cool thing I did all night was a space shark was flying at me. Tibble can get big, and I got big just as he chomped me, and I grabbed his jaws and was grappling a space shark.
Thing is, the one that swallowed you stayed low for everyone to be able to hit.
Oh, it didn't get a chance to leave.
Mine,
And it got hit once.
Mine scooped me up and was like,
See ya.
"Bye."
Bye, everybody. Well, that's because
He signed out of the podcast.
everybody likes Reese, and he's a trusted member of the party. You hate gnomes and talked about fucking his mother.
You did say
That
that.
was after.
It was after, but everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows the kind of dwarf you are. I shouldn't say that, huh?
I want Sven back.
Oh, gnomes aren't real, but there are people with proportional dwarfism in real life.
Yeah.
And they feel.
Speaking of Sven, Chris, you guys did get some information that at least for right now, they're still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's them.
You don't think that's them?
Nah.
You think it's
I
going to be
think-
their stunt doubles?
Yeah. Absolutely.
God, I love Spaceballs.
So we were able to handle the encounter, and we were like, all right, well, what do we do now?
More walking.
We just keep walking.
Yeah.
So we just continued down our path before we found some space pirates. I assume they're space pirates. Maybe they're just space slavers.
Well, we saw like a big, what Cody described as a very large mosquito, like on the
Yeah.
quote unquote horizon, like several miles away from us. And we're like, okay, stimulation. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
So we did everything we can to get its attention. And finally, we heard this really loud buzzing. Finally, we see it like turn and coming around towards us. And the buzzing gets louder and louder. And finally, it arrives at us. And a man pops out of the top of it.
And he's like a pale yellow, and he's black hair, standing up. And he's like,
was this
"What you
Shred?
boys?"
I don't know.
Who was this one, Cody? What was their name? Was this the first mate?
Who was talking to you?
Yeah,
or
who was the one who was
who was
talking
up
to
on
us?
the top?
Who was talking to us up on the ship?
Yeah.
The guy talking to you was the captain,
Oh, that was the captain? Okay.
but the guy up on the turret on top, that was Shred.
That was a turret?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I forgot about that. As they looked at us, some guy popped out, and then Cody describes basically, without outright saying it's a turret, he describes a man comes out of a little hole and turns the mechanism towards you guys. And we're just like...
Menacingly.
We're just gonna,
Yeah.
he's gonna shoot us. He's gonna shoot us all to death. We're all just sitting in the water. I'm not wearing armor.
We're literally just fish out of water.
Wow.
But we're in the water, so it doesn't
Yeah, it
count.
doesn't make any sense. You're a dumbass. But
What are you boys doing all the way out here?
I thought it was gonna be Deliverance. But in the Astral Sea.
Oh, man. So...
Putting the ass in Astral Sea.
Yeah.
So they take us aboard to question us about where we came from. And we basically told them one of our parents. We didn't give him any information, is what I'm telling you. And
Great job.
he was like, oh, well, we got a couple of people that look like you, like your little boy right there.
Your little boy.
And then we got a fat human. And that's Chris's character that we're assuming. And Chris is just like,
Sven's not fat. He's not.
You can't make Santa Claus and then tell us he's not fat.
that's what I'm saying,
No,
man.
he's young Santa Claus from that movie with the claymation figures.
No idea what you're talking about.
Compared
Santa
to
Claus
these
coming to
guys,
He's
yes, Sven is fat. Like, these guys are, like, wire thin
Oh well,
and, like, really gangly and, like,
I
7
like-
feet tall.
okay.
I like the idea that they've just been feeding Sven, so he's just got a fucking belly. And this is how he grows into the Santa Claus body.
No,
Oh, Astral Santa.
I'm fat in real life. I want my character to be skinny.
At least you can live vicariously.
Yeah.
So I took the time to draw pictures.
It's
of
too
our
bad you made your
characters.
character also a fucking idiot then.
Jesus Christ.
Can't escape that.
And so when I showed
Explains why all
Dustin-
your characters are pricks.
Yeah.
not all of his characters.
Defend
Ezra was
him,
pretty
why don't
great. Ezra was just a nice
Ezra's
guy.
a little bit of a dangerous maniac.
He's a liability, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's like the best liability you got.
Yeah. The liability we chose.
you? Yeah.
He'd be perfect for the Suicide Squad.
Absolutely. If you intend on committing suicide in Minecraft.
Would Ezra just be the Slipknot of the Suicide Squad?
He can climb anything. Oh my god.
He had
man.
spider abilities.
He
He
could
can literally climb anything.
Wow.
But no, like these slavers were like, okay, you're gonna take us there. We want to see where you guys came from, and then we'll talk about your friends. And it's like, all right, Cody. Okay, I see what you're doing. You're gonna get the information you need out of us, and then we're gonna get thrown into jail with our friends. And nothing good's gonna come out of this for us, but at least we're back with them. Or maybe it's them. So instead of doing that, we had what's the Star Wars thing? Aggressive negotiations.
Yeah. Very good.
And it started out extremely poor.
So at the beginning of the session, usually, we have earned inspiration from the last session.
Mhm.
And it comes in the form of Cody will hand us all a d20, and we are allowed to grant that d20 on any roll, and basically roll that and take that instead of the roll you just made if it's better.
Yeah.
And Tybalt's like, I'm gonna intimidate this man. He's quite charismatic, so he can do it. Intimidate. He can do it. And we
I learned in that moment that you guys have very different intimidations than I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I want to assist this by like making sparks come out of my hand, and I'm thinking like Sasuke with the Chidori ability.
No, well, you said out of your wand, so I was imagining you waving your wand.
No, I meant like I just meant like I think that's what you guys look at, and you're like Cody's like that's not really intimidating. And now I'm imagining this little kid on 4th of July just running around. He's just
No, he wanted to be Chidori.
What's the one thing?
I wanted like lightning coming out of it, because I'm like no, I meant shocking gravity. I'm like, I want to. Oh well, okay.
No, too bad. You're a joke. So I rolled. It was poor. I'm like, I'll use my inspiration. I rolled. It was even poorer. And
he used my inspiration.
And then I looked at John and I'm like, you wanna give me? He's like, yeah. And I rolled. It was 10, and I got like 15 total, which isn't so great. It's kind of impotent, just as he was throughout the entirety of the Astral Sea, and that kicked off a brutal combat.
It started out
hang
pretty
on,
poor for us.
hang on. That's not what kicked off the combat. You tried to intimidate this Gith, and he's like, no, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then you guys decided
So
to
anyways,
do
he
something.
started blasting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I was less than helpful.
We were bested.
We there was a turnaround to the fight, because at one point you're like, dude, we're just rolling ones and zeros right now, like nothing's happening, and like it turned into a very slow, kind of like tantalizing fight, but it did start turning around for us a little bit. It just took 3 of our party members getting kneecapped first.
Yeah.
They kept trying to throw us into this cargo hold in the back of the ship because they didn't want to kill us. They wanted to ship us, I guess, sell us. I don't know. But somebody mentioned an arena, like Planet Hulk, and I think that's where we're headed now. Spoiler alert: we lost. We lost the fight. We were separated from our auxiliary cleric, who is Elizabeth, Andy's backup character, and they captured her and said, "If you guys keep trying anything, we're all locked in the cargo hold." And they captured her.
They pushed Reese, who is now this extremely strong kid. Was still just a kid.
They tapped him on
and
the head.
And he was like, they treated him like he was Krillin.
Yeah. Poor Krillin. Strongest human alive, I'm calling it right now. But they separated us from her and said, if you guys try anything, simple as that, we're gonna kill her. Yep. And we're like, all right, we're in the cargo hold now. This is our life.
Meanwhile, Reese is already like planning his way out to go back around to try to continue the fight.
Like climbing up the ladder that leads to the proposed outside. And then he hears that.
Like Reese is full on the one who just gets back up in every fucking fight. He always goes like, I guess I always play him in a way that's like, all right, well, I'm going to put myself in a bad situation.
Well, because your AC is aggravatingly high.
Yeah. And he's second highest health in the party.
Yeah.
Only recently.
Tybalt's max health 69. Nice.
But yeah, so that fight ended abruptly for us after it lasted for so long.
It's interesting how close you guys got to winning that fight.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to show how busted Twilight Cleric is, because their channel divinity allows them to heal or like recover a maximum of 600 HP across the 5 of you.
I was gonna say I was sitting at a solid like 28 damage taken to actual Reese and not the temporary HP.
It started off, I forgot. So in the group of enemies we were fighting, the thugs, that we were fighting. They were really cyberpunk. Like there was a guy with a hand cannon.
Yeah.
And
there was a guy who had arm blades.
There was a guy who had arm blades like Shang-Chi. Not Shang-Chi, the guy from Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Shang-Chi didn't have arm blades.
No,
The
he
guy
had
with
rings.
the guy with both his eyes replaced.
Bracelets.
I'm now just imagining as like Gordy LaForge.
You mean Geordi? Chris.
I can't.
I don't
talk.
even like Star Trek.
I had a speech impediment, and I think I still do.
Chris, I don't like Star Trek.
Well,
And I just
Chris
corrected you.
has only ever listened to the show on mute with subtitles.
Right.
So
Right.
he doesn't know how to pronounce any of the characters.
I only watch YouTubers talking about Star Trek.
Chris, I had a speech
Likert.
impediment.
What?
I had a speech impediment.
Yeah?
He got over
Yeah,
it.
I have a new one now. I flip syllables around in words and sentences. But the way that I got rid of my old speech impediment was by reading Goosebumps to an old man when I was in 3rd grade.
Really?
Yeah.
I had to take...
Is this like a fake memory because you got molested, or?
It's what I tell myself.
All right.
I had to take... I had to go to preschool.
Huh?
I had to, like, take an extra year of, like, preschool or something.
I believe it.
I don't think it works.
God
I'm sorry, Chris, but you're just not getting finger painting down. We're going to have to hold you back a year.
Listen. Shapes and sizes are a big step up, all right? You're not ready for kindergarten.
How did you fail nap time?
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to talk about it. I would like you to, though. I want you to participate in the group.
I give credit to my preschool for being the reason that I did so well at school at an early life. Like, I remember, I felt like I was, looking back, this is the way I feel about it, like I was running through school while everybody else was walking.
That's true for me.
Like,
I walked.
I remember I knew how to read and could do the whole alphabet
Sometimes I stopped and stared.
in kindergarten, and everybody else was like, A, B, and I'm like, these fucking retards.
Well, I mean, like, you can do the alphabet.
Said
Jesus
that
Christ.
at such a young age.
You can do the alphabet backwards, can't you?
Yeah, I can.
I can't.
I got sick one time, and I just stared at I couldn't sleep, but I really was tired, so I just stared at the ceiling and learned that I could separate the alphabet into, like, triplets and couplings, so it's Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, G, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And it's just easy. I memorized it.
That's fascinating because when I say the alphabet backwards, I also separate it into triplets.
Yeah.
I still sing the alphabet to figure out what letter I'm trying to figure out.
That's wonderful, John.
If I'm like, wait, what comes after K? A, B, C, D, E,
I have to count the months.
wait, I skipped it. A, B, C, D.
I have to count the months on my fingers.
Huh?
I'm really good with
January,
time
February, March,
math.
April. It's
Why are
May.
we talking about
It's
this?
up to May that I'm like,
What's
what?
happened?
Oh. I sometimes get June and July flipped around.
I do the same thing with months. I separate it into 4.
Okay.
Anyway, I separate it into 4 in my head, similar to
The months?
the month, similar to time as well in my head, where the first 4, I guess, that's interesting. Not really, but
So, this was our first session of the new year.
was it?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be in the astral sea, the sea of stars, for a little while.
Yeah,
And it's a very new experience.
right. Is this your corner?
We're transitioning to my corner.
Oh, fuck! It's
And-
a segue!
46 minutes in.
And 8 years ago, almost to the day, I had another first time experience.
Sex.
No.
Oh.
No.
Still waiting on that one.
Yeah, I'm getting there. My very first time ever getting belligerently blackout drunk.
Why do we keep talking about drunk on his corners?
Most of us drink.
It's sometimes Cody's. Actually, Cody talks about it in every corner. So,
Oh,
we're going
okay.
Oh!
Miami University. Let me tell you right now, there was a time where I had a little bit of a problem.
Oh, no.
And I would just go hard on the alcohol. All right. We pre-gamed, and we pre-gamed the pre-game.
So for
And
people like
then-
me, explain. What I understand pre-game. I guess it's like you're drinking before you.
Yeah, so pre-gaming. So bars and clubs, it's a lot more expensive there than if you just get a liquor
Got to
store.
think of all the markup.
So you drink ahead of time to kind of already get there. So you only buy like maybe 1 or 2 drinks while you're there.
Okay.
So you limit your amount of spending at that place, that establishment. But what we did was we got to my friend's house. We drank there. Then we took the bottle with us to our other friend's house at the university.
Mm-hmm.
And then we drank there.
Uh-huh.
So we pre-gamed the pre-game. And I was ready. I was ready for an adventure. All right.
Okay.
I came in with a mindset of some shit was going to get fucked up. Okay. And then we go from there. We're like, all right, well, let's hit the town. Let's go to some clubs. And
Oh no,
it
John.
is the second week of January. There's snow on the ground. Christmas had just happened. We're over here doing our New Year, New Us kind of shit. And we go to this bar. And we sit down and we have something to eat. So we have some food on our stomach. That helped me a lot at the moment. But then all the alcohol was really starting to kick in. And after that, we go to a club, and we're in there for maybe about like 15 minutes before we're like, all right, hey, there's a fucking upstairs of this place. Let's go check this out. At this moment in time, I had been drinking, we were drinking Captain Morgan, and I was to the point where we were just passing the bottle.
What is that?
Captain Morgan is a fairly strong rum.
Okay.
And we were at the point where we were just drinking straight out of the bottle. There was no mixer. There wasn't anything to lighten the weight or anything. And it tasted great.
Yeah,
I wasn't tasting alcohol.
Yeah.
It's probably about 10:30 at night at this moment. And we go up the stairs.
And when did the night, quote unquote, start?
The night started around 5 p.m.
Okay. So it's been
So we're
like
on
5
hours of drinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we go up. I go up the set of stairs with our friends, and I'm a little bit wobbly, but I'm able to kind of hold myself up. I'm fine. Like I'm GTA levels of drunk right now. And we get up there, and then one of my buddies just turns around, and he looks at me, and he was like, hey, that's my fucking girl. And he's pointing at some girl that was standing in the corner that was like smoking a cigarette or something. And I'm like, you can't just fucking claim her as your girl. Do you actually know her? He's like, back the fuck up, buddy. This is my girl. I'm not about to take that shit right now. And I know if he punches me, I'm not going to feel it.
Oh.
So I'm like, what are you, some sort of fucking slave master? How about you get the fuck out of here with that shit? You don't even know her name. And she just like kind of side-eyed and then walked away. And he pushes me. And like he pushes me in the direction that I'm gonna fall down the stairs. So I fall back into one of our buddies. And the bouncer was like, hey, no, you guys cut that shit out. You guys gotta go. And he saw that I got pushed, but he also saw that I was a little bit too intoxicated to be in the establishment.
Uh-huh.
So I got kicked out as well. And it's me and this guy that we're having beef with each other. And he's over here blaming me for in front of the establishment. Our friends didn't come out with us. This is big oof number 1. All right.
Okay.
And he's mad at me because I just blew this girl his chance to be with this girl that he doesn't even know, and we've been here for 10 minutes.
What did you do to blow the chance?
He thought that I was eyeing her, just eyeballing her, like I was gonna make a move on her.
You were just drunk.
And I'm like, in my
Were you?
mind, listen, I probably couldn't even tell that it was a girl at that moment in time. All right. So I'm trying to explain this to him, but I'm probably slurring my words heavily. Okay. And he socks me right in the fucking jaw. And I go down hard. And I get back up. And and he starts storming off one way. And I remember spitting out a little bit of blood and walking off the other way. Our friends never came out of the establishment. So now we're walking university. I'm drunk as shit. I don't know where I'm going. And I realized that he hit me so hard that my retainer had broken.
Oh.
So my tooth, I had a fake tooth at the time that was kind of just in place with a retainer. That was gone. All of it was gone. So I'm just walking around drunk as shit, a fucking mess, and a toothless little looking savage. Just I'm like fucking nightmare fuel, and I'm angry, and I'm losing my shit. I'm so mad at this moment because like I was just trying to talk sense to this guy, and I'm just like, I know I was talking to myself. I don't remember what I was saying, but I'm like, he's too fucking stupid. Fuck this guy. He's such a piece of shit. Fucking hate this dude. And like, there's people that are like eyeballing me on the sidewalk. Just like
talking to yourself.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, I'm probably yelling at myself, really.
Toothless.
They're like going to the other sidewalk. They're going across the street. And in like probably the most Trevor fashion. You know how Trevor in the one GTA scene, like the classic one where he's like, yo, my N-word, and he goes, like tries to jump over the fence and eat shit. I go to walk into a gas station, and I go to walk over a pile of snow, and my foot slips, and I fucking bust my mouth on the snow, and I just get so angry, and I just start swinging at it. I just start swinging at the pile of snow. I had so much frustration and anger in me that I just started swinging at it. Somebody called the police.
Because you were beleaguering this poor guy.
There's this homeless man. He's drunk.
And they're like, hey, dude, listen, you need to calm down, all right? Where's your friends at? And I'm like, they fucking left me in the club, dude. I'm trying to walk back to their apartment. And they're like, all right, where's their apartment at? Like, we'll give you a ride. And I'm like, I pull out my phone, and my phone's dead. I have no battery life in my phone, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't fucking know. All right. And he's like, watch your tone, all right, please. And I'm like, sorry. I'm just, like I said, I'm just really fucking angry right now. And I'm pretty sure it's down this way. But my phone's dead. I can't fucking contact them. I can't do anything. And I'm just kind of going.
It's a good thing the police showed up.
Absolutely. No, 100%. In hindsight, absolutely. Yeah. But because I was now just an intoxicated person in public with actually nowhere to go, they're like, well, hey, we're going to go ahead and, take you down to the station. And I'm like, are you fucking arresting me right now? And they're like, only if you're gonna be violent. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, it's down the street. No. Is this for real? I've done nothing wrong. They're like, you're what's the word? When you're
drunk and disorderly.
It was drunk and disorderly, but I'm also just like violating the peace, basically, because I'm being loud and obstructive, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so this turned into a classic line for a little while. We got away from it. Yeah. But they ended up throwing some cuffs on me and putting me in the back seat. And then I said the most legendary drunk line I've ever said. Don't know why. I don't know why I even thought this. Maybe it's because we were watching this fucking Dragon Ball Z at the time we were rewatching the anime.
Yeah.
And I looked at the police officer, just dead eye to eye. I didn't blink, and I'm like, you think these cuffs can hold me? I am Son Goku, and I just start doing my hardest Super Saiyan scream impression to try to break the cuff.
You were just like, ah!
Oh, look at that.
Like, and then he just closes the door on me. Doesn't even give me anything. And after I tried. I remember like the next day I saw like cuts on my wrist and everything from how hard I tried. But like after I had tried like for like 3 or 4 attempts. I think I even hit him with the "this is what it's even like to go further beyond." And like, after the 4th attempt, I'm like, "Ow, this is actually starting to hurt." Oh God! And like, I had the Buzz Lightyear "I'm just a toy" realization, where I'm like, I guess I'm not Son Goku. And I just,
which, to be clear, that is a good thing to realize.
and I passed out in the back of the vehicle. I woke up, I don't know how much later, still in the back of the vehicle. Vehicle hasn't left, and somehow my friends are there.
Oh.
And they had found me. And I found out that this all happened in a span of half an hour.
Right. You wandered the streets out of the club for like, you were probably gone for 5 minutes, and you stumbled over a snowbank, passed out in the back of a cop car, and then your friends found you probably down the street.
That's
I had walked 4 blocks.
Okay.
damn.
And in the wrong direction.
I love the idea of you being like, wait a second, I think I'm just being foolish. I'm not Son Goku.
No, like I had like there was like the sad music playing in my head. I'm like
Where's all my power gone?
Buzz Lightyear just like laying there on the ground.
Clearly, I'll go sailing. No more.
So
So are you now Mrs. Nesbit?
no, I'm just John.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And so that is the story of when I tried to be Son Goku.
Well,
That is the first time I ever got belligerently blackout drunk.
that tracks.
And the guy who punched me and walked the opposite way, he lost his car keys, his wallet, and somebody had made like $400 worth of purchases on his card.
You made out like a bandit.
All I lost was a tooth.
Yeah.
And my dignity.
And he also lost his girl.
He did lose his girl. No idea what happened
What
to
an
her.
idiot. What an idiot.
And so
What a maroon.
to bring this around, like I said, at the time, it was an interesting time. It was my experimental time with alcohol.
It was cathartic.
Unfortunately, that was the can opener for like, when I have this mindset of I want to get shit-faced. I don't go back and think
I Kamehameha a snowbank.
I may have actually tried to. I can't remember.
You dare challenge me, Snowbank?
After
I am the Prince of all Saiyans!
After I beat the shit out of that one snowbank, I probably saw a snowman across the street. And I started charging that bitch up.
You were probably yelling. That's what they called the cops.
I know that I had no voice the next day.
Yeah.
So, like, I went at least Super Saiyan 3. Now, let's say, over the next couple of years, whenever I was like, I want to get shit-faced, I want to drink, I want to go out, it was like, I had gotten a little bit better about it because I was like, hey, I communicate with the people I was with. I'm like, I would like to, get a little bit loose tonight. Like, maybe, can you kind of help keep an eye on me? And then that still didn't work. I still got in trouble when that happened. So then I actually had to learn to control myself.
There is a
and be
lesson
better
here.
adult.
Your sobering moments.
Yeah. Well, what I'm getting at, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a lesson, but a New Year's resolution I had a couple years later was I would like to be better than this.
Right.
And that kind of became my stepping stones going forward. Was it's always, I don't necessarily just say like, oh, I want to be where I'm supposed to be as a fully grown adult, a fully matured person. It's, I want to be better at this. I want to be better about being mature and making these better decisions. I want to learn to control my alcohol while still having a good time. Like, it was smaller stepping stones at the time, and it was always just little steps to try to get better each year. And so, we talked about New Year's resolutions and saying our New Year's resolutions. And that's what I'd like to end the episode on today.
Colon sausages. We just dedicated a whole corner, kinda. to answering your question. I don't want to go first.
I already
Okay.
did mine.
Chris, you want to recap yours?
You're gonna say it again.
I
want to build more.
Yeah, I want to. There are aspects of my life that aren't where I want them to be, right? And so, like, I would like to be published, and I'd like my own place. And
Haven't you been published?
Well, like, I'd like to be like making money off the things I publish.
Okay.
I currently have 2 things out in the universe.
That's 2 things more than me.
I am part of a YouTube channel that has several 100,000 views on the videos.
Oh,
so.
good for you!
I think we're up close to the millions.
I think we're at 500,000.
Wait, no, Cody, between your Albed Primers, baby, and my Tia Celestial Guide, that's 500,000 right there.
So everything else is
Yeah,
like 100
so,
views.
Oh,
You know.
yep, yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, those are our heavy hitters.
Well, anyways, Cody,
Continue.
do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I thought about this.
While I was telling my Goku
I was
story?
at a New Year's. What's that?
While I was telling my Goku story, or?
No, while New Year's was coming right around the corner, I was at a New Year's Eve party at a friend's,
Ooh.
and they asked me what my New Year's resolution was.
Did you fight a snowbank?
I didn't. I unfortunately stayed very sober that night.
You should try it
Not
sometime.
completely sober.
Weak.
But they asked me what my resolution was, and I never do a resolution. But then I realized that I did have some unfinished business that I needed to attend
Like
to.
a ghost.
Did you kill somebody?
And this isn't... Yeah, like a ghost. Well, if they were dead, then the business would be finished.
I think he's saying it's still presently as we are.
Oh, gotcha.
This is my announcement of you all participating in my most dangerous game.
Oh God! Which of us will you hunt?
Are there
All
are there
of you.
snowbanks?
You want to play a game?
He could just have me.
All right. Well,
No, this unfinished business, and it's not like trying to be a better person or improving myself or any of that dumb stuff.
Watch.
hurtful.
Last year, for Christmas, I received one of the most unique gifts I have ever received. We did our little gift exchange between the 4 of us, and Chris gifted me somebody's wedding album that he found at Goodwill. This is not anybody that he knew. This is presumably a deceased person whose living relative donated a wedding album to Goodwill, and then Chris found it and bought it and gave it to me.
I would like the record to show. Thank you, John. Thank you so much for finding that.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Yeah, John found it,
And,
and then Chris is like, "I'm mine, dibs."
I was gonna say I'd already found the gift that I was gonna get Cody.
The funny thing about it is, so the thing about the way I give Christmas presents is I have this little game where the gift has to inconvenience the person in some way. And that usually involves it being so useless that it could only ever be used as decoration,
Cody, are you getting married?
while at the same time being so hideous that no one would ever want to display it.
You've done a terrible job with me.
You've done a great job with me.
I love your gifts.
Those clogs are useful.
Are they on display?
No.
I love how
And
me
so
saying
this gift-
that he's done a terrible job with me is lauding his gift choices for me. You're like, he's done an excellent job because you fucking hate all of them.
The person should feel slighted in some way.
Gifts should make people hurt.
Cody, I've told, so like, I just want you to know, there was a night that I brought a girl home, and she was like, she commented on the paintings, and
Yeah.
I didn't think anything through. And I'm just like, they're my great grandparents.
Yes! So
yes. Oh, mama, peepa.
this is when they got married.
They
at
knew
12.
each other since children, since they were kids, and got matching paintings,
in the Holland,
and then grew up to get married.
Were they brother and sister?
I've seen this anime.
I can see where you would think that. I can see where you could think that.
They were actually the kids of some 20th century Russian oligarch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a real like Anastasia
So they're
situation.
Putin's grandparents.
Anyway, continue, Cody. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Continue, Cody.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Talk already.
John, that gladdens me to a degree that I can't put into words. Anyway, so I've got this somebody's wedding album from like 1963. And I called my sister, who I started playing this game with years ago. And I told her, hey, Chris got me somebody's wedding album for Christmas. And she's like, well, whose is it? And I'm like, I don't know. It was just some random donation to Goodwill. And she's like, well, you need to find out whose it is and give it back to them. And thus, her and I went on this journey trying to uncover the identity of the people in the wedding
Trying
album.
to get rid of my gift.
Yeah.
Yes, trying to get rid of it. Because
a year
that
later,
seemed like the only thing better than receiving the gift would be to give it back to the person who tried to get rid of it themselves.
that's when we just find it in a
And I
Goodwill
just like
again.
knock on their door and I'm like, you don't know me, but I know you and everyone in your family. I have something that belongs to
I've been
you.
getting rid of this monkey paw for years. It keeps coming back.
And her and I like spent a good couple of days like on Ancestry.com and searching through public records. And eventually we found the couple that were getting married. And it says in the wedding album where they got married in New York, what church they went to, what their names were. And we basically did this sleuthing and we found out that the wedding album belonged to the brother of the bride. And
That's a little weird to
what
me. Is it because they were deceased,
oh,
or
no. Excuse me. No. It wasn't the brothers. It was the mothers. Because it says our children's wedding on the
Okay.
cover.
That makes more sense to me.
But what we found was that the mother and the brother of the bride and his wife moved to the Dayton area at some point before 2010. And then the mother passed away in 2010. And I guess he just held on to it. And then he passed away like 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
And I'm assuming his widow donated the wedding album. And so I know who the widow is. Her name's Gloria.
Hi, Gloria.
And I need to go give her sister-in-law's wedding album so that I can figure out if the bride and groom in the album are still alive,
Right.
so that I can give it back to them.
And has your trail
And-
run cold?
No, I think he just hasn't approached her.
I just haven't because it's like, how do you go about this? And I've basically just been putting it off for a year.
All right, Cody. Here's how you go about this. Okay.
Okay.
You find her on Facebook. You say,
Aw.
"Hey, I see you're single."
No, John, you don't understand. I've already found her. I have her address.
Okay, we'll start
As
talking.
long as she's still alive, I can just drive to her home.
Yeah, scout the place
He's
out.
saying it's less intimidating to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I found this on Facebook."
One thing you could do, Cody, is
You
take
can just leave it on her doorstep.
is just talk to some Mormons and ask them how they do it. And
Excuse me?
how do you go door to door?
Like, how do you live? Oh, how do they knock on doors?
I see.
How do you
go...
give somebody sensitive information that you should not have?
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem is I can't just leave it with her because she tried to get rid of it. I need to get it back to the bride and groom, and she's my lead. I need her to tell me where the bride and groom are.
Can't you just
and I'm assuming
find out who they are?
We're talking about this because this is your resolution.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, I
my
did ask that,
resolution
didn't I?
is to return this
Before
wedding album.
2024, this wedding album will belong to its rightful owners.
Well, I think the first step, I think John's right. You approach her on Facebook.
Yeah.
Give her, even, hell, take a picture of the album. Be like, hey, I got this from Goodwill as a gift. Like a gag gift. But I thought it would be nice to bring it back to the people.
Yeah, I think
who were in
honesty
it.
is probably the best thing to do here.
Yeah. Also, you should probably hurry up on that.
Yeah, it's a
every
ticking
day.
clock.
Yeah. It's...
Oh, yeah, no kidding. She's like 80 years
Yeah.
old.
Might not even be in her right mind. You need to get on this.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, there's an awkward conversation that's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's unavoidable.
Yeah.
So I think you just...
trail I have for the bride and groom, I think, as far as I know, they moved to Venezuela.
Yeah.
And things haven't been super hot there.
I was going to make
the
a
past
joke
couple
and
of
say
years.
their trail went cold in North Brazil.
Wow. That's pretty close, John. Great job. Well, what a resolution.
So that's my resolution.
What a resolution it is, to bring closure.
Yeah. For himself. He wants to get rid of it.
Right. You gave him a project, basically, for Christmas.
A multi-year project.
What do you have one?
Probably drink less.
Yeah.
No, I just...
Every year, just drink
Yeah,
less.
no, I've been progressing.
Yeah.
I've only got shit-faced once this year.
Nice.
And I didn't even drive home.
That's wonderful.
That's good.
That's not wonderful. That's just the expectation.
Yeah.
That's just the bare minimum.
So you guys aren't happy for me?
No,
Or...
I am. That is very good for you to not do that. I'm very proud.
I don't like his reaction.
I
His
care
reaction
about you.
frightens
I
me.
don't want anything to happen to you.
All right. All joking aside, my New Year's resolution was just to stress out less about shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop letting work stress me out so much. That was all. All right.
This coming from Goku.
My New Year's... I never have New Year's resolutions. I never do them. Because that would imply that I'm not already perfect. So... I guess my resolution for the sake of this fucking podcast...
Wow.
And for your sake, colon sausages.
Colon sausages, he never does anything like this for us.
No, I'm just saying I want to do something on the channel. I like that Skinwalker idea. We still are planning it. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. I plan it at least. I want this to be I want something to go on the channel more than just a podcast, but I'm not creative. I'm not a creative. I can make a funny gag. Like that, I can do that all day. But
that was a funny gag. No, I agree. I would like to sit down and brainstorm more stuff to do. We're getting near the end of this video though.
We aren't. How about that? Just real quick, we all shoot out an idea. In fact, I think that could be a fucking video idea, Cody. Your journey on bringing this woman's album.
Oh, you could absolutely do that. You just have to recreate all the.
We are so on the same wavelength. Yeah. Excuse me. So much on the same wavelength because that's exactly what I was going to suggest when you came up with this. I already have half a script written.
Perfect.
Nice.
What about you, John?
I'd like to get into the.
What's a video you want to do? You what, huh?
I'd like to get into the shorts game, man.
Yeah.
That's the big thing on YouTube right now.
14-year-olds do that.
That's the big thing on YouTube. TikTok is blowing the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is. Mm-hmm. Really. I mean,
Elon Musk wants to make Vine again.
Sure. Mine was cool.
I don't trust him with it.
7 seconds is a bit long. Could we do 3.5?
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like really, what I would love to do is take the time to make small little animations similar to what Rooster Teeth did with like stories. Like I enjoyed like they're just little like terrible picture quality reenactments of stories that they told. And like, I mean, I think
kind of like Chris's thumbnails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we could animate those monstrosities,
like I would
that's
love
a lot of work.
I would love to take the time to make those little creatives.
What about you, Chris? What's an idea? What's an idea for a video you'd like to do this year?
Well, like...
I love how you made that noise like you weren't ready for this question to make it to you.
I wasn't, like... Because we do the podcast, right?
Right.
I edit, do the stuff for it. I'm trying to write a bunch this year, right? I'm working on some short stories, some poems, some collections of things. I'm working on drawing, becoming better at that. So it's like I have all of this creative outlet that I'm currently doing. But specifically a video I'd like to do for the channel, I haven't given much thought
Fake reviews. You talked to me about these the other day. I think you talked to me about these for a reason. I think you're trying to pull them back into light.
Well, I wanted to write one for Wednesday. So they were on my mind.
I see.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Chris has these like little pithy...
I have a blog that I write a poem. I try to write a poem every weekday. And there was a time on the blog where I was seeing movies a bit, right? A good bit. And so I was writing like these fake reviews where I'd hyper focus on something that's menial in the movie, like the C plot of it. So like the Black Widow was all about, the review for Black Widow was about how it's just a father trying to reconnect with his estranged daughters. There's nothing else to the movie.
It's not. I don't. Is it supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
You haven't succeeded.
Well, that's where we could help.
I don't know.
We're funny.
Well, somebody, my buddy, thought it was funny, and he showed somebody he works with, and they thought it was funny. So
I don't
there
understand
are
the world.
people that like it.
I don't understand the world.
Our level of comedy is so far above everybody else.
I would like one thing I would like to do though is I would like to take like an old movie that's in the public domain,
And all four of us watch it and voice over it.
Ooh.
I would love to bring back double buff
Double feature.
double feature. Thank you. But no, I would like for us to actually recreate an old movie from the 20s.
We ain't got that kind of budget, dog.
Kickstarter.
Oh yeah.
And then we could just take the money.
We make props out of like cardboard.
Sorry, it
and
didn't
shit.
work out.
I didn't work out.
We do like one trailer scene. That's what we could do. We could make trailer scenes for those movies.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hold on a second.
We
That's
could make
interesting.
trailers for old movies.
I could be cue ball.
You could be. We could even get you hit by a train.
I would love nothing more. All right, guys, we only got one take for this. What's my line?
Ah! Right, let me...
Oh man.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
it's a shame he had to die for that. No film
but that
in the camera.
footage was.
No film.
Well, there went our HR department.
It's off the rails.
Now we can say whatever we want.
Wait, now? What do you mean?
HR's gone.
I guess if I had to pick a video that isn't Skinwalker Ranch that I want to do, to book into this podcast, I don't know. I like the idea of the Skinwalker Ranch videos, so I could think of another one that I could get frothy enough about, of a subject that I could get frothy enough about, like Skinwalker Ranch. But then I'm afraid, what if it's just the video just turns into me wanting to make a video that makes me mad about something? And I don't want that. Or do I?
Maybe you do.
I don't know.
You enjoy doing those rants. Not like actually getting angry rants, but just ranting about shit.
We could dress you up like a goth, and we could change your name to Raven. And so it's...
And we could put a little
Rant.
red gem on your forehead.
Ranting and Raven.
Ranting and
with Raven.
Ranting with Raven.
Oh, holy
And
shit.
it's
I'm not
just something
doing
you're
that.
angry
I don't
about?
want to... I'm not a goth.
Yes.
No.
I love
We
just
could.
the
You
idea
always
of just
wear
giving
black.
you like
I
massive
have all
eyeshadow.
black jacket.
All right, hear me out. We dye your hair.
Ooh.
Not like dye, but like the quick dye that can wash out.
Yeah.
We give you a shit ton of black eyeliner.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Why is this happening?
Answering fast.
All right.
I can think of another, like, I could rant for a long time about something like, I don't want to rant about Hellier. They're just doing their best.
Yeah, but their best is bad.
I mean, but
Too bad your best isn't.
they
good
are
enough.
succeeding at what we want to do. They went out and made a documentary.
Oh, yeah, that's
They
right.
made content and put it out there,
Yeah.
free for people to watch. And then I shit all over it because I fucking hate it.
Well, I think lastly, we're at an hour and a half almost into this podcast. Colon sausages, Carson. You guys tell us what you think we should do or what you would like to see. Tell us your New Year's resolutions. Carson, I don't want to hear yours. I don't care about yours. I do want to hear your video ideas, though. And we'll get back to you guys on this in our next podcast
Great.
when we talk about the comment section again.
And it'll be Cody's Corner.
It will be Cody's
Or
Corner.
maybe Kyle's.
It will be mine.
Or, yeah, I don't know how we're doing that. I guess we got to figure that out in between podcasts.
It might be a Kyle Corner. We don't know.
Cody, maybe we put you on hold since Kyle can only be here half the time.
Yeah. Maybe
like a
we cut
manager.
you out of the podcast, Cody, like a turd that just won't fall.
I'm actually busy that day then.
No!
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed.
That was him falling off of a cliff because he's rock climbing.
Wow.
Okay.
Chris, whoa.
What a pull.
Cody didn't pull. He like...
Farewell, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody!
Bye, guys.
Booby.
Boy.